The ball is in accused number one's court as he now has to indicate who his new lawyer is going to be. This follows the death of Muzi Sibiya's lawyer, Thulani Mngomezulu, who died at a Vosloorus hospital yesterday. Sibiya and 4 others are on trial for the murder of soccer star Senzo Meyiwa. And Newzroom Afrika's Linda Mnisi joining us in studio this afternoon to talk to us about how this matter now complicates the work of, or should we say, the speed of this trial. Linda, talk to us about what options are available to Muzi Sibiya right now.
Well, only this morning, the proceedings starting on a much somber note as the judge asked that we observe a moment of silence in honor of the life of Thulani Mngomezulu, the lawyer for accused number 1. And one can only imagine how Muzi Sibiya was feeling, being asked, in fact, if he had heard about the tragic news, really, of the passing of his lawyer. And he said he was told yesterday when he got to his prison cell. And while he's grappling with the passing of his lawyer right before they start cross-examining one of the most critical witnesses in this case, he now has to make one of the most toughest decisions, given that it's the end of the year, but also that they were about, like I said, to start the cross-examination of the lead investigator in this particular case. You'd recall that when he made the decision to appoint Thulani Mngomezulu as his lawyer, there was talks from legal aid that he wouldn't really be funded fully, going forward if he opts now to come back and be funded by legal aid. And that is why he was funding, Thulani Mngomezulu from his own pocket. So today then, there was talks about whether or not legal aid would be able to assist him because, again, he, raised a concern about his uncle's pockets, feeling the pinch as he is the one that's actually funding this entire process. And he wanted to know if legal aid would, assist him in funding his legal representative. Legal aid coming on board and saying, well, it would actually help if he chooses a lawyer that, is amongst the defense lawyers that are already in court with this matter. Let's take a listen to what Muzi's decision is.
Mr. Sibiya apparently has chosen that he would wish to be legally represented through the sponsorship of the Legal Aid South Africa. Yes. Now the question is to identify a person that is going to proceed with this legal representation. So Legal Aid South Africa indicates that they would dearly appreciate it if it were to be one of the councils that have already been involved in the matter here. That would simply obviate a lot of things, time for preparation and all those things, my lord. What is, however, still missing, it's the identity of that individual. So what we are looking at, my lord, is because Mr. Ramsipili is here, Mr. Mngomezulu is here, I'm here, and Advocate Msholole as well. I think amongst ourselves, we are saying we also need time to go and consider certain issues before each one of us can raise their hand and say, so we would definitely go and consider a few items on that point. So we are of the view that whilst we will be having our first day of the sitting in the new term next year on the 20th, specifically for this item, we could then reconvene tentatively on the 8th. We have a special sitting on the 8th to come and deal with this item.
Very interesting turn of events there, Linda. Let's talk about the inevitable delays that would be brought about by this development then. The court today being postponed, when is it likely to resume?
Yeah, you know, like you said in your intro, the ball is now in Muzi Sibiya's court, Xoli, and one of the interesting things about what's likely to unfold is that he has two options. It's either, in fact, three options. You know, it's either he appoints his own lawyer, which he will have to fund from his own pocket, or go with the legal aid lawyer, or choose to represent himself. There's been a lot of talk about perhaps him going back to Sipho Ramusipili. Recall that before you know, Thulani Mngomezulu came to the picture, he was actually being represented by Sipho Ramusipili. But, you know, all of it, you know, will come from him. So come the 8th of January 2025, he will then come to that special sitting to indicate who he has picked amongst, you know, the lawyers, the defense lawyers that are already in this particular trial, given that he's already chosen to go with legal aid. And then on the 20th of January, we are going to then start seeing the trial resume. But if, of course, if he chooses his own lawyer, then it means that his lawyer will come on record and indicate that he needs time to go through all the records, all the, you know, docket, the statements within the docket, but also the court transcripts. The last time we were in court and, you know, reference was made to the transcripts, we heard that there was about over 40,000 pages of this court record that this private lawyer may have to go through. But now that he's chosen the legal aid lawyer, then it means he must choose amongst the defense lawyers that are already in court, which will then mean that the trial will start on the 20th of January 2025.